Hello everyone, welcome back to the THV Foundation channel. Today we will discuss Kim Taehyung aka V BTS, who is back in the spotlight since landing in Paris. Since his arrival, he has been like a magnet that attracts the entire public and media gaze. Every step Taehyung takes in Paris is in the spotlight. No matter where he goes, people can't stop staring at his charm. Paris really feels alive again with the presence of a K-pop idol. ARMY in Paris also considers this to be their happiest moment. They have seen V many times since he arrived, and every time he appears, his aura never disappoints. The energy he radiates feels so warm and joyful. It is clear that Taehyung loves Paris very much. And to be honest, Paris seems to love him back. There is a kind of two-way love between the star and the world's fashion city. When Taehyung arrived at the hotel where he was staying, he took a short break. But not long after, he changed his clothes and came out with an appearance that left everyone in awe. His appearance this time reminded many fans of one of his iconic photos in the past. As the saying goes, some things never change. V still looks elegant and stunning. Many fans immediately said that Celine Boy has returned to Paris. He looks like he will bring a new surprise and make the city shine again with his style. When leaving the hotel, V looked very happy. He waved enthusiastically to his fans, even though it was only for a moment before getting into the car. The journey he took from South Korea to Paris was not easy. It took more than 14 hours of flight to get there, which was certainly very tiring. However, even though the journey was so long, Taehyung still looked fresh and full of energy. He immediately went back out, as if he couldn't wait to enjoy the Parisian air. In every photo that was circulating, Taehyung looked radiant. The positive aura he brought was truly contagious, making anyone who saw him smile. What was no less impressive was the attitude of the ARMY in Paris. Since Taehyung arrived, many fans had been waiting in front of his hotel. The hotel where he stayed was also the same location for many guests and celebrities invited to the Celine fashion show. So, it's no wonder that many people knew he was coming. But what is really commendable is the attitude of the fans who kept their distance. They didn't push or try to get too close. They just stood at a distance, called his name enthusiastically, and recorded quietly. This is a real example of how fans can support in a classy way. Even though the crowd was very large, everything remained organized and under control. There was no chaos or dangerous incidents. This certainly makes many people hope that this attitude can continue to be maintained by fans around the world. There is also an interesting story from one of the fans who was waiting for V at the Paris airport. Because Taehyung didn't show up for a long time, they asked the airport staff. It turned out that V chose to exit via the VIP lane. This is different from when he left from the Korean airport, where the atmosphere was much more chaotic. When his departure to Paris was announced the day before, thousands of fans immediately crowded Incheon Airport. So were dozens of journalists who were present. Even though he was wearing a mask, his handsome aura was still clearly visible. He stole the attention of everyone there. More than 700 media articles were written that day just about him. Many praised his charm and were amazed by the number of fans who came. As we know, V is very popular in Korea. Fans are willing to wait for hours just to catch a glimpse of their idol. But unfortunately, the atmosphere that day was quite dangerous. When V walked in from the airport gate, many people started running towards him. Not only fans, reporters also piled up in front of his face with cameras. While from behind, fans continued to push forward. Fortunately, V was escorted by professional bodyguards. Without them, it might have been impossible for him to move. Despite the great pressure, Taehyung remained calm. This shows his professionalism and extraordinary personality. He even had time to give a warning that the situation at the airport was very dangerous. Some fans also claimed to have been stepped on or pushed. Many questioned why there was no special lane for celebrities. Even though it had been planned before, it was cancelled because it was considered discriminatory. In conclusion, loving an One of the most interesting things about V's presence in Paris this time is how he seems to really enjoy his time there. Even though his presence is tied to an official schedule, such as the Celine fashion event, there is no trace of fatigue or compulsion on his face. Instead, he looks relaxed, smiles broadly, and occasionally even chuckles when greeting fans. It's as if Paris is a second home that makes him feel at peace and live in comfort. It is undeniable that there is something very iconic about V in Paris. Longtime fans must remember very well how his presence in Paris at the previous Celine event rocked the internet. His effortless yet captivating style, his natural high-fashion aura, and his charisma that never fails to captivate. Now, his second presence in the fashion city seems to be an affirmation that V is an irreplaceable symbol of global style. V also shows his interest in the world of art and culture in Paris. Many fans hope that in between his official schedules, he has time to visit an art gallery or other iconic places in the city, such as the Louvre or Montmartre. Taehyung is known to be a person who greatly appreciates art, and Paris is definitely the right place for him to absorb new inspiration. Although his visit was relatively short, the impact was felt very big. Both local French media and international media reported his arrival. Photos of him that were spread on social media became trending in a short time, and hashtags about him filled the trending topic column on Twitter in various countries. This proves that Taehyung's charm is not only local, but global. One of the most moving moments was when V got out of the car and walked towards the hotel door. Although it only lasted less than a minute, the sound of cheers and screams from fans who had been waiting for a long time sounded very emotional. Some fans were even seen crying because they were able to see their idol in person after waiting for almost 2 years while he was serving in the military. This small but meaningful interaction was a priceless gift for ARMY. Taehyung is not only known as a talented idol, but also as a warm and caring person. He always tries to repay his fans' love, even if it's just with a wave or a small smile that is given sincerely. On the other hand, the commendable attitude of Paris fans has become a topic of discussion among global armies. Many hope that fans from other countries can imitate how Paris armies welcome their idols with love, while still maintaining ethics and safety. This is important because maintaining the safety of idols and fellow fans should be the top priority in every moment together. However, the contrast is very pronounced when we compare it to the situation at the Korean airport. There, the crowd's push and shove made the atmosphere very uncomfortable. Some fans even uploaded their stories on social media about the minor injuries they suffered because of the incident. Some also said that the media camera was too aggressive to the point of accidentally touching Taehyung's face. Such conditions not only endanger the artist, but also damage the image of the fan community itself. Many armies then raised this issue in online forums, calling for a change in attitude and asking for stricter boundaries so that similar incidents do not happen again. They believe that true love for idols should be manifested in the form of protection, not a violation of privacy. Interestingly, in several previous Weverse uploads, Taehyung himself has mentioned the importance of personal space. He said that while he enjoys meeting fans, he feels uncomfortable when surrounded by too many people. This statement shows that he is a human being like the rest of us, who has limits and the right to feel safe in public. This issue has even been discussed on Korean television, where several pop culture commentators have expressed concern about the trend of airport stalking. They argue that celebrities should be given additional protection,